Never forget, never forget, I'll never forget, never forget, I'll never forget, never forget, I'll 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 never forget.
I'll never forget the time where I got set up by bloody Adil and Siago. So right, this was in year 4, right? We was watching a video, and it was about keep your hands to yourself because, you know, why not? So yeah, this was at the end of the day, right? So we watched it, right, and we was all like getting our bags and coats from the hangers, right? When we was getting our bags and stuff, so Siago comes over, he trips over a bag, and then he blames me. And then Adil was in on it. He was like, why do you do that? You're so weird, man. Why are you invading our personal space? Did you not watch the video? And then they told the teacher, but the teacher was like, oh, okay, deal with it, man. But I'll never forget the time where I went sicko mode in front of the entire class doing the Daily Mile. This was in year 3, man. And we was doing the Daily Mile, man. And so there was this man called Toby, man. And he was like the fastest kid in the class. Well, guess what? He thought he got away, man. Well, guess what? He didn't. I was running there. I was next to Leo, you know, talking. Then I just went beast mode. I ran, caught up to him. He was like, damn, so how you caught up to me? But I'll never forget the time back in year 6 where I was about to pull in all the women. So basically, right, I was with the people, Darwin and Kieran Rudkin. Kieran was like the most popular person in year 6, and Darwin was like his friend, and I was with them. And I think Montana King would relate to that. There was a part on the field where it was like, it had like this rope, and there was like this big wood underneath it, and it was pretty high, and there's rock climbing stuff on the wood. So I was sitting on it, right, and there was like the woman around me. I don't know why, but I wasn't actually scared of women back then. And I fell backwards, like, quite far. It was like 2 meters or something. On my head, right? Fell backwards on my head. And I got mild concussion. But I didn't cry, man. And guess what? All the women were looking down at me, because they were on there as well. It's like the first time I ever got recognised by one. Oh well, man. Like, me and Darwin and Kieran, we all sitting on the bench after. And Darwin said, I would have cried if that happened to me. But I didn't, because I went sick of it. But I'll never forget the time where Jamie Fallows called out on Ollie Tanner. So if you don't know who Ollie Tanner is, he was a person who came up to school in non-uniform day, and he had a 10 million subscriber Logan Paul merchandise. Alright, so basically what happened, right? So Ollie Tanner, he was walking away because he had to put away his lunch. Like, we were all on the field because it was very hot that day, and yeah, you was allowed to have your packed lunches on the thing. So when he went, right, Jamie Fallows, man, he just became the ultimate, I don't know. He started talking about, like, how Ollie Tanner, because he had like a bad leg at the moment, and he was saying that he was abusing the system, saying that he only has a bad leg because he wants to sit on a chair. Because remember, back in year 6, right, Montana King, sometimes you could get onto the bench in the assembly, but most of the time you wouldn't, because it was on rotation between like the 4 classes. If that was true, I wouldn't even blame him, because Ollie, I mean, yeah, he once snitched on me, but honestly, he's a pretty good friend, I'm not gonna lie. Like, once I got dropped by a bra, I mean, I don't know, he's still one of my friends here. And he was like, damn, son, why you do that? And he said, like, the bad word, right? He said, why the did you do that, you know? And you know, back in primary school, right, when you said a swear word, it was that serious. But if you said one, everyone was silent. They knew you were serious. And the bra man, he was like, damn. He just started walking away. And his friend Usman, man, he was like,
What we do here
do I fart? Do I fart? Also, about Adil, man, he's probably one of the best friends I've ever had. So I remember back in lunch, and all we did was just talk to each other in lunch. And we took stuff so seriously. Once we had like this thing where like you can't say this name 3 times, right? We took it so seriously when Ellis and Leo said it. We acted like they just committed one of the most serious war crimes in all of humanity. Unfortunately, none of this happens in secondary school or high school, because everyone just thinks they're hard. They're like, oh yeah, vape, I'm so hard, Honestly, mate, no one finds you funny. Like, 1v1 me in Fortnite Battle Royale, you'll lose.
Oh, come on, man.